And we get this TVZ ready to go. Any game where Clem does not get hurt and killed by run-bys, early to mid, I think is going to be absolutely disastrous for Reynor. I think Clem, in a game where he's comfortable early, just continues to see so much success. Let's see what happens as we get into this. Clem is our blue Terran player. In the other side, our red Zerg is Reynor. One of the absolute best matches of StarCraft 2 that you can have.
Reynor.
Clem versus Reynor, the best matchup in TVZ. Two of the players who are so well matched with each other, all time against each other. They must be so even. They play great games. Their styles match. They're both fast. They counterattack. They're aggressive. So much fun. What's up, Soulman? Thank you so much for the 500 bits. And thank you, Procreator, for the Prime sub as well, as we get up and running on this one. We want a subathon? You guys do not want a subathon. I already stream for you guys like every day. Just watch the games that we put out. A subathon would just involve less casting because it's impossible to cast for that long. You know? Yeah. Alright, Barracks coming up, Hatch, Gas, and Pool coming through, and we got ourselves settled into game number 1 of this best of 5. Semi-finals, Clem and Reynor. Winner plays hero in the grand final best of 7 later today. And we will see what between these two is going to go down early. This is a matchup where 100% you got to look at this and, like I say, Reynor, I do not think necessarily stands as close to Clem in like a straight-up game as much anymore. But the thing is, as a Zerg, you're not really meant to be ending up in a straight-up game. You're meant to be playing the TVZ, where you're being aggressive and all over the place and up in your opponent's face and being feisty and being all of this and that, you know? So we've seen the Marine, the Command Center, SCV all building through. Take a couple of moments to get set up. It's going to be seeing the Command Center coming through, the factory coming online. The rest of this continuing to come online as well as the Reaper goes and hits the hatchery for just a couple moments. The Lings is going to get there, going to hit this Reaper for a few moments. The Reaper taking some damage, is going to continue to peel away. Single Zergling there comes through, and the Reaper just going to continue to fight for a couple of moments, putting some damage out as we continue to deal with the damage in the early stages, just for now. So Reaper fighting. And a couple of CCs, the factory all coming up, the Ling speed is on the way, Queen Drone's hatchery building at the moment. And we just have ourselves the first little bit of opportunity. One kill on that Reaper, and the Zergling speed on the way up. Command Center building through, the orbital command coming online. We have the Overlord sitting overhead. As the third hatchery comes down, the factory building in the back. Interesting to build the factory so far back there. So he's building a second factory. So Clem is already kind of spicing up the builds a little bit here. He doesn't play another Zerg in this tournament. The winner of this plays hero in a TVP. So you've got nothing to hold back right now. This is straight up a situation of just you play your absolute best. You play with every trick in the book that you have. And that's going to be good for you. So, you know, you've got nothing to hide anymore, basically. So he's going to go double factory. This does not mean mech. This is typically going to be a blue flame build into a bio follow-up. Clem, on the rare occasion, does play mech. And famously, against Reynor, has switched it to mech a couple of times to catch him off guard. I don't think Clem needs to do that in this series. I think he's a favored player here anyway. I'd say like 60-40 in his favor. But Blue Flame Hellions are so cool because what this does is A, it puts pressure on, and B, it kind of messes Reynor up a little bit. And the most important thing, you're going to have a lot of Hellions. It's going to be very difficult for Reynor to do run-by damage. And if you take away the run-by damage, you're going to take away one of Reynor's absolute key and critical ways of putting himself into winning positions in this matchup. And I think that might be one of the absolute most important parts of this. I think that might actually be the one that's really cool about this Blue Flame opener. Even if it doesn't do loads of damage, it's going to make sure Clem gets into the later stage of the game without too many issues. Yo, thank you, Calvo, for the 55-month resub. Oh, guys, did I not give you guys the Reynor Clem prediction? Sorry, I'll put that up now. I meant to just leave it for a little while, but I forgot to actually get it started. There we go, get that on the way. Apologies. So if you want to predict, it is available on the Twitch chat. Alright. So there's the stim follow-up. Like I say, it's not a surprise to see this be bio on the follow-up as the Lings are going to get in. The Lings are going to get all the way in. Clem didn't realize, and now Reynor sees the second factory, but he also sees, stim on the way, so he knows what's coming up. Most importantly, he's going to get some damage done. 6 SCVs go down before this will get cleaned out. However, the Hellions are going to run in on the other side. Reynor obviously had a bunch of Lings on one side of the map. Now, this is a lot of Hellions as well. The drones are going to start running, but this is going to be disastrous. Clem goes deep on the natural. I think I would have preferred him to go up into the main base. I guess he says he can probably run out from here and still get toward the third base as well for more damage, and that's probably why he comes in onto the natural and doesn't go into the main. As he runs over to the third base, he still has the chance to hit that mineral line, I think. A couple extra Hellions showing up. The Zerglings go down, so it's only really the Queens here. The drones pull to the side. 13 workers go down. But look at Clem. Very responsible. He keeps the Hellions alive. Because I really feel like they keep changing the volume of this game. Like, I don't know if I'm just crazy, but I feel like the game volume keeps changing. But yeah, he keeps some Hellions alive, which means he still has them available to join in a future fight. But also he still has them available to keep him safe from run-bys and so as well. Whereas if you give up all of those Hellions and you're just now building Marines, that can become problematic. Couple shots and the Hellions start to take damage, starting to fall for a moment or two. The Banelings, what a play from Reynor! He puts them on the high ground. Clem does not have high ground vision. He runs up and the Hellions get blown up. It's so impossible to get Banelings to touch Hellions. But if you put them on top of the ramp and catch the Hellions on a rotation you're expecting them to make? Oh, what a sick play from Reynor. Love that. Very cute move. And that is going to be the sort of stuff you need to see against Clem in this series because, like I say, I'm a little bit Clem biased maybe. Like I say, I just think Clem is the player who's had stronger results as of late. I don't think that's necessarily a crazy statement. I think Reynor has been very good as well, though. Beat Maru yesterday. I just think Clem is getting a little bit more successful against Reynor than Reynor has been against Clem. And especially as the games go longer. So like I say, I think you need to do what you can to kind of keep the game in your favor early as Reynor, otherwise you end in some trouble. Hellions moving through. We take a couple of seconds, see where we're going to go. 1-1 upgrades, melee upgrades, both coming by for a couple of moments as well. So we get all of that ready to rumble and figure out where we're going to go here next over these next few moments. 2 medevacs and Marines going to load up and they're going to relocate around as the Hellions still here in good numbers. We're still building 3 Hellions at a time. This is interesting because this is where Banelings actually are going to be very good. If these Hellions morph into Hellbats, Clem gets a good bit of creep on this left-hand side, looking to break through this position, getting through these Queens already. And we're just going to be seeing a couple of shots coming through, and we are going to be seeing the Banelings looking to try and roll forward. A couple of those Banes start to go down, a couple of Queens are stepping through as well. Just going to see a few more of those Zerglings getting picked away at as well here. Hatchery taking some additional damage. The Ling Bane pulls back for a moment or so. It's going to be seeing the Marines pulling it away off creep. We do see those Hellions continue to pull away as well. Reynor is going to defend against this. There's a lot of Hellions left. The Marines are still going to be able to come back in. The magnificent part of this is that we've just minimized the unit loss overall. Clem stims one more time. He has another group of Marines that are arriving. They may need to stim. He's super low on the Marines that have stimmed a few times over. Now he moves to Hellbats. Hydras are on the way for Reynor. Need to split these Hellbats up. Can't really afford them to all take the same amount of damage. But we do handle this very well so far. Now we need the Banelings to really show up. The Hellbats stack a little bit. We are going to commit through here as Clem, as he tries to take the trade against these Queens. A couple more Banelings going down as we kind of get set up. Clem is going to be forced away. Can't really afford to lift up yet. Medevacs are low. Hydras are out, and we can't afford to take too much damage on these Medevacs. Just going to be seeing the Hydra, Ling, Queen just gathering back together still. The Marine's going to turn around again. A few more Lings going down. Hydra's still in threat of falling. The Marines and the Hellbat pull back just a little further. 2-2 upgrades coming up. We got the Hellbats and Marines still producing through. Clem is still pushing forward and trading here, but I don't actually think he needs to be trading anymore. I think it is time for him to take a step back, take a step away, and just let things reset in this best of 5. Game number 1. He's got 2-2 on the way. He's macaron behind this. He already has the 3rd in position. The 4th base is building as well, so that is all coming through. We do get rid of a couple creep tumors here for now. So just, again, taking what we can get. And a few different points of this as the medevac loads up as well for a little Hellbat drop. Could also be a fun little way of things turning out here in the next few moments. As we just see the bio coming through, going to get rid of the Overlord. The couple creep tumors going to go down. And this bio of Clem comes right over to that right-hand side. A couple Hellbats here, getting rid of one Queen, looking for a second. Lings running over. The Banelings do not reach these Marines. Reynor needs to be able to hold this off right now. Extra banelings finishing up, going to be just about good enough in time to help us out here, and that is going to save this hatchery over on the right-hand side. The Hellbat's going to do that tanking. The Marines get rid of the banelings for the most part. We get rid of the next one, and the next one target fire necessary because there was a Ling in front. Now we're going to turn onto these Hydras, but there's enough Hydras, I think, to just say that that's not a good idea overall. At the same time, Clem defends the left-hand side run-by attempt. His 4th base moving into position, and 2-2 upgrade is going to be finishing up from both in the next few moments. Marine Marauder still coming in. The Hellbat's still producing. We have got the Infestation Pit and the rest of the drones, the Hydras, and everything else building as we speak. A few units here are going to get caught in the front, though. The Lings are going to be there to greet this. The Hydra's now on the way over. Clem, a little slow to kind of lift up and get out of there. Once again, Ling run-by shows up on that 4th base that's yet to become a planetary. Clem taking a few moments to clean that up. His supply down in this game, 128 to the 168. And let's just see the 2-2 upgrades continue to come around as well. Roof Spine's coming up. The Hydra's still building. I'm just going to be seeing the Infestation Pit is on the way into this. Again, Roof Spines will be finishing. Just going to be seeing the Queen's going to get jumped on. A couple of Zerglings pulling back as well. The Ling's looking to try and get through, looking for the Mule again. Run-by after run-by on that 4th base. Clem's still trying to pressure and hurt by the run-bys, and also just Clem not in a comfortable position for a late stage of this game. He's still making Hellbats. So he's not going to have mines, he's not going to have tanks, he's not going to have the things that are useful. The Bane's going to roll in this mineral line. Clem is just not watching. SCV's getting blown up and killed. 21 workers down. Clem is maybe at this point nigh on all in right here as this Bioforce pushes. Being all in against this army of Reynor is not looking pretty because I just don't think you can push into there as aggressively as you need to. There's a distinct lack of Ling Bane right now. But even considering that, I mean, Hydras are holding out pretty nicely. We've got a full medevac of Marines on that right side that's just not unloaded the entire time here. Clem just too busy elsewhere to notice that, and that's obviously a mistake. He's killing a lot of the Hydras. It's just Reynor can afford the reinforcements. With 93 drones in this game, his economy is strong enough to get the reinforcements and to deal with this. Clem has to pull back for a second, but again, with the damage taken, he's fully committed here. He's full sending this. And unfortunately, the full send is not going to do enough. It looks like Reynor is going to be on the verge of a Game 1 victory and a 1-0 lead in this best of 5. Again, the Bio still stepping through. Just going to not be enough. The Hydra count is a little bit too good. The thing is, attacking into Hydras or being all in into Hydras when you don't really have, like, the support of... You know, when you don't have the support of, like, a bunch of tech units, gets you into trouble very quickly, and that's very much so what happens here. That is going to be GG's. And we are going to see Reynor. Bottom left side, our blue Terran player is Clem. In the top right, our red Zerg is Reynor. Semi-best 7, final best 9 is better for offline event. I mean, they have a schedule they have to stick to. They have a venue they have to be out of at a certain time. It's not always possible. I actually think, honestly, I think semis and finals on the same day should never be best of 7, best of 9. I think it's too much. I think a best of 5 into a best of 7 is reasonable. I think you start making those series longer, I think it can be so... The thing is, as well, is just there's more chance of it becoming, like, such a disparity. Like, it's one thing if you play 3 to 5 maps. Like, if one guy plays 3 maps 3-0 and the other guy plays 5 maps 3-2, yeah, it's a bit easier for the guy that played 3 maps, right? But it's not too bad. But then, say one guy has to play a grueling best of 7, 2+ hours, and the other guy gets the 4-0. It just starts getting to that point where it's just so rough coming out of that semi-final, going into that finals, and a best of 9. I don't even know if I like necessarily best of 9 in StarCraft 2. I think having a veto, at least in from each play, that, you know, one map that does not have to be played, I think is genuinely a good thing. Maybe that's the thing of the map pool, though. And, you know, a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people just like, more games better. But I do think there's a lot to say about just, yeah, I do think there's a lot to say about just kind of keeping it a little bit, kind of lower sometimes. Maybe not. This is a triple CC super quickly from Clem. But this is no gas, so no Reaper opening, and just incredibly quick setup here. Obviously, it's a command center first as well. So command center first into no gas into a third CC. Like, this is almost so greedy that it's not even worth it. And what I mean by that is that this is kind of a situation where you're investing so much into the economy early, you're going to have basically no pressure. And when you have no pressure, the Zerg can get away with things. But that obviously depends on Reynor kind of figuring that out and realizing that that is the case as well, which is not necessarily a guarantee. Hate best of 9. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, yeah, it's funny, but like, I feel like for some reason, to me too, best of 9 just seems like it's a bit too much sometimes. Like I said, I don't even know if I can explain it all the time. I just don't always think more games is better, you know? Does anyone want to guess the historic matchup percent between these two according to a Ligulac? Between Reynor and Clem? It's such an interesting one. Reynor was a bit better than Clem at first, right? So historically, all time, Reynor, Clem. I guess it's... I wonder if Clem just beat him more overall. I reckon it's like 52% in... Clem's favor. I actually think Clem beat him a lot, especially more recently, I think. Maybe it swings it. I'm going to say, like, it's very close to 50-50, though. It's, like, super close. I'm only saying 52 because I think going straight down the middle 50-50 is a boring guess. 51 feels like a cop-out. 52 feels like a meaningful guess. 50.56% to Reynor. Damn, that's very even. I don't think that's true. I looked it up recently. No, Clem's ahead on series against Reynor. I'm pretty sure. Are you sure you typed it in right? Oh, you looking at maps maybe? Because I feel like I looked at this recently and Clem was like a few series ahead. Because I looked it up during the big Gabe Cup. I feel like Clem's ahead on series, but maybe he's behind on maps or something. Because I feel like I'm pretty sure Clem's ahead on series. Now that I think about it. It's 52% in Clem in series. And what, 50.5% to Reynor and maps? It's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. So Clem, let's actually get into this game because we have Mech. So straight up Mech from Clem. Which is obviously a wild investment because we say Clem doesn't always Mech, but sometimes he does to again throw it out there and mix things up. He's going to go Blue Flame Hellions, he's going to get Mech Field Accelerator, and he's going to mech it up here on Old Republic. Now, Reynor identifying this is going to go Roaches. He's going to get a drop load and try and start harassing early as well, wants to put some pressure on the Mech player before this gets to be too much or to go too far. So we get all of that ready to go as Infernal Pre-Igniter. Mech Field Accelerator coming through, the Hellions come by, a couple of these Creep Teamers being cleaned up initially, and we get this ready to go. Alright, Roach will be coming through. The Roach is building by. The Barrow upgrade is coming through as well. Like I say, 3 Cyclones building at a time right here. The few Hellions in the Armory coming about. The Hellions getting the Creep Teamer, or at least trying for the Creep Teamer a little bit. It's going to be seeing the Drop Lord coming down. The Hellions and the Cyclones just going to be picking away at the Hatchery. So Hatchery taking some damage and taking some hits. Just going to be seeing the Hatchery getting cancelled. Let's see, the Hellion's going to come through. A couple of drones begin going down already, so getting some damage already. We've seen the Hellions able to get about 7 drones, but the Roach Drop is getting cleaned up as well, so now we see the bigger attack coming in, so this is going to be Reynor shoving through some Roaches. We have some Cyclones here, but they're not really in a position to do too much at the moment. Let's see what we can do. I mean, obviously the Cyclones need to be careful because they're usually kind of units that are based on kiting, but they're kind of backed in a corner here. Reynor coming in from multiple different directions just for the moment, trying to see what we can do. Continuing to get that on the way up. The Hellion Cyclone regathering. Clem with a good defense so far. You lose some SCVs, but that's kind of expected in this scenario, so I feel like that part of this is very much so okay. As we get the couple of infestors coming about, we get more roaches coming through, the drop lord is building. We just have these Hellions and the Cyclones continue to gather back together once again. Just going to see that Hellion pulling back over to that left-hand side. Again, 3 Cyclones coming up, the Raven on the way through, +1 vehicle plating, also in production right now. 9 more drones are going to build as the infestors come up as well. That Lynx be building by, and the Hellions is going to take that chance to come through for a bunch of the creeps right here as well. So, getting rid of some of that creep. The Roach is going to show up and get back onto the Hellions. Hellions get pushed back the other way. A couple of infestors and so coming through. The Lynx speed building. Hive in production. And again, Hellion Cyclone just down around the bottom side. Another depot trying to come in. Bailing Nest is building. The Evo Chambers are coming through. The Lynx speed is continuing to come up as well. And you just see all of those roaches continue to spread out and get settled as the Hellion Cyclone makes a bit of a push forward. Hellion's going to get through. A couple of Queens taking damage. Fungal growth, really nice on the Cyclones because of the fact that obviously you lock them down in position. And they're meant to be units that can kite backwards all the time. The Raven coming in here looking for the Order Turret just to try and help tank a few of these roach shots and protect the Hellion Cyclone. Right now, Clem is continuing to do very well. The earlier defense put him in a good spot and his supply looking good. You have the scan as well, so those roaches do not get out of the lock-ons by the burrow. And the infestors, a couple of them already went down, and as they spawn out, they get locked onto as well. 2 more infestors going down. This is Clem just aggressively pushing forward. And this mech play is just going everywhere it needs to right now for Clem, who is looking good supply-wise. He's going to start picking off this base. And what I love about this for Clem is like he's already in an aggressive position, so as units are spawning here, they're just dying for Reynor. And this game is just very, very quickly falling away from Reynor. Sometimes the issue with Mech is you can get in a good position, but closing the game out can be difficult, but that's not really looking like the case here. But Clem continues to trade very well. Maybe at the tail end he could do with backing off and getting a few more reinforcements in, but even then he's actually doing a good job of just continuing to trade with Cyclones. A couple of roaches maybe looking to unburrow, but they're low HP. Yeah, Clem no scan would have made this a little bit easier because the burrow-unburrow is what's kind of saving Reynor at the moment. If Clem had a scan, this would have been nicer. He had the Raven originally, right? So he had the detection before, but that's gone now. I'm not sure where it went. Did it die? Clem is building a new Raven for the same idea of just being able to kind of deal with this without having to scan all the time. As we do see those roaches still getting knocked away at the fungal growth going to land, and it's going to do some damage. Second fungal as well, but we're not really joining these fungals up with the same idea of what we're kind of used to seeing, which is that you want a fungal and then have the units that run in and really make a difference. And that's just not really being the case here in the slightest, unfortunately, as the Cyclones have to back away. The couple of roaches and the Queen continue to gather up. So the Hellion going to try and get some shots off. Not really finding much of anything right now. This game definitely feels like we're getting to a Clem win because there's not much else that's really going on, like I say, at this current point in time that's going to start saving things here, I don't think. A couple more roaches going down, the Order Turret coming through again. And we're just going to be seeing, yeah, the Hellions and Cyclones still building. The Hellions getting across the map into this mineral line, try and see what else we can do. New drones going down. We haven't killed the hatchery, but as Clem gets more Cyclones up, I think he just continues to hold this off. I mean, there's no reason why Clem's trades get worse for him here, especially when he's been trading against so many of those infestors as well. It's not like all of those infestors still alive, building up energy. Clem with the Cyclones and the Hellions gets a lot done, and like I say, just most importantly, the initial defense for Clem keeps him in a very safe place and kind of stops Reynor from getting set up in this game. And because the best infestors usually are the ones that sit in the back and wait for a long time anyway. So I don't completely disagree, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be the... I feel like, you know, this would have been much more quickly figured out if it was going to be that much more of a factor, I guess. Anyways, we get set up here. We'll see where we go. Get this underway and see what's going to happen. Clem and Reynor, game 3 coming up.
Reynor.
Alright, take a couple moments, get set up here. Get this underway and see where things will go as we take a few moments and just get set like I say, ready this up and get into place. Scalpers will do that, guys. No one is out here scalping tournaments, scalping tickets to a Chinese tournament, man. This is not a scalper thing. I know scalpers are a big thing in the world, but like, these guys aren't sitting here waiting for the first StarCraft 2 event in freaking years in China to be like, this is it, this is my chance. Yeah. SCV is going to pull out the front as we sit and wait. The Reaper's going to come over too. Keep the SCV there because ideally you can use that SCV to go back and forth a little bit on the, on the kind of denial of a base, and you can kind of force Reynor into one of the bases that you'd like him to take instead. So if you prefer Reynor to take that left side, you can send the SCV to the right side. In this case, he was just watching for the for the drone coming out the front. He would have ran to the right if it did. And obviously, as that comes down, we're going to move through. See Clem firing a few shots off on some of the bits and pieces here as goes back home, throws the CC down. Reaper micros back. Clem is going to presume the base is on the left-hand side. He never saw the drone leave the front, so he already kind of has that info. He's going to double-check the right. But yeah, he's going to basically assume an expansion on the left side on this map, which obviously has an interesting layout because you can mine the minerals out to break down that wall over to the left. He does send the Reaper there now just to double-check as well. He sees the minerals mined out, and that's good enough information for him, so that also means units can get out on that left-hand side as well, so there's now multiple pathways out of the natural. So that's something else that Clem, he doesn't go too deep. All he needs to see is a couple of those minerals mined. He's happy to know that's A, likely the base, and B, like I say, an access point to the map for Reynor as well. Speed building through. It's going to be seeing a couple of queens going to be there. Reaper is going to be sitting tight and holding out for a few moments. Does the mainstream really have 52,000 viewers? It's hard to know what the viewership is like on Chinese streams because they don't just show typical viewer count. They wouldn't surprise me. I mean, World Team League on a weekly basis used to get like a 10,000 viewer count or so, is what we got told was the number multiple times. So it would not surprise me if the first big event that they've done in China for a year or so, or a couple of years, is actually with offline players and stuff, gets a lot more viewership than that. The viewership in China is crazy. Like I say, I don't know if there's an accurate viewer count, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was 50k. That seems like a reasonable number. And they're very passionate over there, man. If you sell 3,000 seats in the arena, you know, if 3,000 people are going to travel to watch it, then a lot more people are probably going to be happy to tune in online. Like, their community is massive. They're very passionate. It's kind of a crazy thing how much China can do for StarCraft 2, so hence it's a great thing that we bring it back. And their Chinese server is back as well, which is part of the reason why this event is happening as well. Two Hellions, the Reaper will move forward here from Clem, looking to see what's going on. A couple Queens are going to come out, move through for a moment. Marine Hellion just joining up there, the main nest, the hatchery coming through as well. Medevac will load up a bunch of these Marines. We're just going to go drop forward initially. Orbital Command looking to get into that forward position. So it's going to bring that straight over. Drilling Claws, Combat Shield coming up. The Marine's going to unload a little bit of that creep spread. Starting to be in some trouble. We're going to scan it up to get rid of some more of these creep tumors already. And it's going to be seeing a bunch of that continuing to go down for the moment. So a lot of creep being cleaned up. The Marines stem through. A couple of these Queens taking some damage as well. We do see the Zerglings coming over. The Queens are going to be right there. And the Medevacs have to pull back over that right-hand side. Drilling Claws, Combat Shields, Engineering Bays, and the rest of this all continue to come in just for the moment. Pull back just a little bit further, and again, trying to see just what else is going on. Overload goes down, just going to clean that up. And yeah, Drilling Claws and Combat Shield all building through. 1-1 upgrades building from Clem as well. Drilling Claws is fun. Early Drilling Claws, early mine drops. He's got a lot of the Widow Mines available right now that he's just hiding back in his base. So just trying to keep this hidden away from Reynor. Like I say, Clem is coming in with a few different kind of funky builds in this series. Like, he's showing up with some stuff that you maybe not quite expecting to see and so on. So definitely building some fun stuff into play. It's been cool to see up until now. Kind of intrigued as to where we continue going as he's going to gather up for a couple of moments. The Marines moving around, and of course those drops. The fact that Widow Mines have drilling claws, they can burrow up and get set to go so very quickly. So that's definitely going to be a factor as well. Medevac just back through. Marines and the Medevacs join together for a couple of moments. Let's set up here. Like I say, the drilling claws. Intercepted by the Queens. Good positioning. I mean, we're flying over creep. Reynor is no amateur. So he sees this coming in. Now, he still doesn't necessarily know it's a mine drop. Dropping on this right-hand side. Going to get one burrow, two burrows. Yep, good. Well handled. And the high ground with a mine. Just going to go off on an overload. So this does not do much for Clem initially. Clem still also stimming through the middle of the map and putting pressure on with these Marines. Knocking that creep down. He's going to create pathways for his army later in this game that he can utilize, push into, and really try and do something with, you would imagine. So I think that's important as these Widow Mines get off. Wow, builds the Spore Crawler to even dodge one of them as well. Reynor playing out of his mind at the moment, honestly. Like, he's playing a very good series, but he forgot about this mine up over here. He sees it. He actually pulls away and splits last second. Very, very close to being a spot on defense. Baneling's nearly going to jump there as well as Clem takes a moment to take a lift and pull Marines back away. Marines still stemming through. Crypt Tumors are going down. The 1-1 melee upgrades, the 1-1 attack and armor upgrades coming through. The Overlord in some trouble. Crypt Tumor going down. Just going to have ourselves the Widow Mines looking to get off towards the rest of this. All the Banes getting jumped on. We are going to be seeing these Marines continue to try and fight. Another couple of Widow Mine shots going off on the Lings. Lings taking a lot of shots here toward the end, and just going to be seeing Marine Marauder still coming through. Liberator building, Mines on the way out. A lot of that continue to come into play for the moment. Just going to step straight through. Now going to be seeing the Hatchery taking some damage. The Widow Mines need some detection to clean these up. Another mine drop comes in, and this time we do blow up another 10 drones. So again, over time, Clem is making the dent on that work account. It's cost him a lot of mines. Great grenade pops all of those Lings around for a second or two. Gives you a bit more space to play the getaway game. As Marines here going to find Queens right at the front as well, and we do not want to lose those because they're going to be what replaces our creep spread as we lose it to these drops as well. Good transfusions. Widow Mines burrow again very quickly is the benefit of that drilling clause, so we can get those burrowed quickly in an instant whenever the moment arises that we need it. More mine shots still coming through. The Bio Army pulling back again against that Ling Bane force and just not letting this go anywhere just yet. Marines on the top right side, though, actually going to find Reynor finally out-microed, or out-multitasked, I should say. Widow Mine shot as well, going to go into the center of those units so we get a bit more damage done. So a little bit extra being found at the tail end of this. Damn. Damage really just keeps on ramping up here as the Marines now going to unload out, ready to deal with an Overlord. Up on that high ground, pushing on the left side. Clem still just everywhere, and this is exactly what happens when Clem gets into a position where he can kind of play in. He just goes. He does not stop, and he just keeps the pressure going. And even against someone like Reynor, who's so fast, it feels like Clem is just that step ahead. He has got a little bit of an advantage, that little bit of a speed edge. And right now, Clem takes the supply lead after a lot of effort, kind of dropping everywhere, dealing damage all over the place. He is finally starting to make this go in his favor. As Medevac needs to boost away from those Queens. So will still be 8 Marines available as the Ling Bane will come through. The Medevac loads up. A few more Marines are going to get evacuated out of here as well. Oh, there's one Medevac going down. A little mistake from Clem as the Ling Bane Hydra still moving through. The Queens are going to show up. They're going to try and come back the other way. It's going to be seeing the Ling Bane again turned around back up that right-hand side. 2-2 upgrades are still building through. Marine Marauder, Medevac all building in. Vehicle plating is coming online as well. We have this Bioforce still pushing through. Widow Mines, yep, again burrowed and just firing. The last one got 9 extra drones. So Reynor takes a big hit. The Lurkers here are exposed, so we're going to lose the Lurkers. So your kind of backline defense is in the front line. And that's just because we're pulling back to deal with the mines and so on. Widow Mines again doing decently enough to kind of keep Reynor on the back foot and the supply looking good for Clem. Reynor needs to get to Lurkers, and he needs to hold with those Lurkers and slow this game down, which at this point it might just be too much damage done, and this game might just be too far gone, to be honest. But that's his hope right now, to basically play defense with the Lurkers and just hope that if you can draw this out, you might get more of a chance later in this game, because right now, it's not really happening. Bam, bam, 2 drones going down to those mines. Marine, Ghost, 9 medevac continuing through. The Overseer going to morph in, just going to be seeing the rest of this Ling Hydra. Look, of course, continue to come about as well. We are going to see the Bio just stimming through. Ling Bane is going to continue to come over. Look, again, target fire during this. Clem just going to lift and leave what he can. He loses 1 medevac, some of the units still on the ground. As Clem will back away over that right side. Reynor, a bit of a better fight, something he kind of needs. Clem is also, though, on the way to the Ghosts, giving himself the chance to get through into some snipes, and obviously a bit of an easier way to clean up a bunch of these lurkers as well. Knocking down again some of that creep spread. He's been consistent at trying to do that throughout this game. And it just means that Reynor's never been able to take control of just a further forward position on this map. Target fires down 1 Baneling, now a second. There's only 3 Banelings that were there. There's a lurker here too that will just get mass transfused, but at the same time he's pushing on the left-hand side. Reynor out of position, and we do see on the right side Clem pulls back. The Widow Mine's doing work against these initial Banelings. The lurkers now burrow up. Does Clem want to fight this? Yes, he does. He's going to stand here and trade. He has too much, and Reynor is going to lose the position on the left side. He'll lose the hatchery. He'll lose the Hydras that stuck around and try and fight a bit longer as well. There's 1 Baneling that actually gets a decent connection, but it's not going to make the difference as Clem loads up, backs away. Marine Marauder, medevac still building through. We have the bio units in the back hanging about. We just see a little transfusion coming down as well. 5 more lurkers on the way through. Overlord speed is building. Army starts to regather itself for a couple of moments. Just going to see Bio on the high ground is going for more damage. Clem still in total control of this game. We've not looked back at Clem's side of the map, but if you look on the mini-map, he's a 5-base Terran player with Ghosts now available too. So he's done all of this without Ghosts up until now, including trading against a bunch of the lurkers already. It's going to get even easier for him at this stage, because with Ghosts available, the snipes come through and those lurkers. The problem is being behind us, Reynor, there's especially no real easy way to deal with those Ghosts. And that's really going to be what puts him into just a whole bunch of trouble here in the grand scheme of things. Lurkers burrowing again. The Ghost snipe down. GG, says Reynor. And Clem takes game 3 of this series. Clem is pumped, man. He's chuffed about that. He's bringing out some very different builds and doing everything he can to just slowly break Reynor down. Top left-hand side, our blue Terran player here is going to be Clem. At the bottom right, our red Zerg is going to be Basilisk's Reynor.
Reynor.
Game 4 of this best of 5. Just need them to actually put the BO5 on the screen. There we go. Fix that up. And get this ready to go. Racks in the gas coming through. Drones in the hatchery coming about. And the Overlord heading to the upper left-hand side. Let's just start us off here as well. Let's just get that, all of that underway. Get this started. A couple moments. See where we go. Take a moment or so here. Orbital Reaper on the way through. Command Center coming up. Get this on the way for a couple of moments. Got Swan and Pool coming in. The hatch coming about. The drone is on its way in as well, so we get that on the go. Let's see where things will go here. Like I say, just momentarily getting things set and ready to party. Reaper gets there, forces the drone away from being the third base for a few more moments. So just again, frustration from the very first moments here for Reynor. Oh man. I was going to say I thought he could get it down there, but he didn't. And the third hatchery gets denied. Clem slowing this down massively early. Winning with this early Reaper SCV micro. Reynor should be able to go to the left side for a third hatch now, but that's not really where he wanted to expand to. At this point, he might just decide it's not worth it as well, and that he may as well be better off just taking a moment or so. So that might be the case from him. Hatchery looking to get into place here. Take a couple moments to see the grenade coming down. Still not allowed this third hatch. Clem can't do anything more about it. The Queen actually blocks the hatchery for a few moments there, but finally it comes down. Things across the map are genuinely an issue, and Clem raises the depot. But of course, eventually we'll have ourselves the Hellions popping out, and that will be a defense on the other side. The Reaper is doomed. The only problem with that Reaper is obviously it was very committed, so it does go down. A couple of Lings will try and chase after the SCV here. That should be a cleanup without issue. A little bit of lost mine time, but not much. Reynor just trying to get whatever he can out of those Lings for a few moments. Hellion Banshee coming through, Marine on the way. Command Center still coming up, the Orbital Command coming by as well just for the moment. Lings and Queens all building through, the Ling speed coming up at the moment as well. Hellions will step over. The Hellions do take a second, just joining up and taking a moment or two here. Going to pull back around that right-hand side and just see if they can get anything done. There's going to be Queens in position, so for the most part, the answer currently is just no. Will not be finding too much opportunity just yet. We're going to throw a couple engineering bays down, and Clem, you can see his point of view here for a moment or two. As mentioned, always fun to watch. You're going to see the Banshee going after a couple drones early as well, so it's going to start getting after them. Hellions coming over. The Queens are going to be there to try and help out too, so just trying to get some damage in. A couple of moments. As we settle things back down for a moment or two. Things have to get a wrap around, killing off a Hellion or so. Now the Lings into this natural expansion. These are the run-bys that at the start of the series I was talking about. If Clem can minimize run-by action early, he's going to be able to have a much better chance in this series. The longer this game goes and the longer the series goes, the more chances these run-bys have, the more that Clem maybe gets into some trouble. The run-bys are definitely Reynor's secret to getting into some good positions throughout this. Well, 10 SCVs going down. The Hellions not finding too much counter damage just yet. So no fortune for them just now. Banshee. And those Queens had their sniper rifle upgrade installed because they hit from afar to get that final shot off. Hellions are going to get into the main base. They'll continue to fight the Lings. And then we'll hope to maybe have enough damage available to go after a few drones as well. We're going to get a couple, nothing too major. And that's the Hellions now going down. So you lose map control of those. That's obviously going to be an issue. This has been a great start from Reynor. Now it's Clem. Everything he's tried to do has kind of gone a little bit wrong. Let's see what he tries to do over the next few moments, because obviously we're still in this position where Clem at this point in time is going to be able to start going into the... he loads up a couple of Marines of Medivacs here. I mean, we're basically going to be... Oh, Medivacs off Marines, I should say, sorry. We're at this point where Clem's obviously going to keep up the aggression and keep trying to do more, but he's definitely behind, so he needs to get some damage done that's going to turn the tide of this battle a little bit, turn the momentum a little bit into his favor than what we've been, compared to what we've been seeing so far. So like I say, we'll see if that's going to be the case. Let's get this up and running. The Marines onto the creep spread, knocking down a few creep tumors. Double Hydra Den from Reynor. We'll see if that's intentional or a mistake here. I think it's a mistake because first, they're built very separately from each other, so he's probably built one, forgot about the second. As the first one finishes, he remembers he built a second one, he does cancel it, so He's going to have 110 finished up. He gets some upgrades started. Clem trying to pressure the 5th base. Will not go too far for himself as he throws an armory down. He's got another factory finished, I believe, so we'll be able to add some additional production from that to continue to establish control in this game. As the Marines just unload off to the left-hand side, the medevacs are going to join up there as well. And we get set to resume. As that combat shield coming in, Marine tank all building. Marines unloading from these medevacs. Stepping by, a couple of Balins getting jumped on. The Marines pull back over to the right side. Marines stepping up. Just going to see a couple of these Queens going down. The Ling's going to be there. Hydra's still building. Groove Spine's on the way. Marines continue to pull back. The Ling's still getting jumped on. We're going to clean those up pretty easily, though. And so they all go down. All the Banes going down. Just going to be seeing the couple of shots coming through the infestation pits. Coming about, the Lings will come by and do again just see some extra Banes and the Hydra coming about as well. And a lot of that coming straight into play. Marines going to load back into said medevacs. And the rest of the upgrades going through from the Marines and tanks setting up. We are going to be seeing the Ling Bane happy to jump onto this, and the Lings, oh well, we're target firing the Banelings. Not a single Baneling hits the Marines. On the right side, Clem is so focused on the left side attack. The right side attack of his gets cleaned up, but the left side is so successful that he might be able to continue through anyway. He's going to get the hatchery, so he gets the hatchery. At least he lifts up. Obviously, you got to run into the tanks if you want to clean this out. I love that. He unsieges the backward tank and just saves that as well. I mean, like I say, Reynor at the very least got the win over on the right side. If Reynor didn't get the win on the right side of the map there, this would have been so painful. Now at least he's got something to, you know, look positively at on a follow-up to all of this right here. As, oh, medevacs of units getting caught especially. That's not ideal from Clem. There's another couple of Banelings catch as well. Clem now pushing the right side. Drilling, Widowmines will burrow up. Drill claws on the way, but not ready yet. Overseer got transfused as it tried to go and tank a few more shots. The bio continuing by. A little bit more being done here just currently, as we are going to be seeing Clem able to stick around. I mean, one Baneling morphs at the front there, it goes down. There's a few Banelings extra. Going to lift up the Marines. We're going to retreat away, but again, Clem just forcing fights there. He can potentially continue to find value and continue to find just, you know, trades that favor him, and that's going to be a lot of what this game and series is about here from Clem. Just find as many trades as possible that go in his favor, that trade out to his benefit, right? The more we can kind of do in that regard, the happier we're going to end up being in the grand scheme of things. The Banes going down once again. A few of those Marines firing up and getting damage done right away. Again, drilling claws coming through. The 2-2 upgrades all coming around. Just going to see the couple of Marines there going to hit the Overlord already. Mines and Bio still stepping forward. A scan comes through as well. Just going to set up as the Bio tries to trade. And we'll be seeing the couple of Widowmine shots going off on the Lings. We continue to pull back for a second or two. Clem running away from me. He has the Banshee in the front that's going to go down. Just a remnant from earlier in the game. Not really a big deal. Not something that was really looking to do too much. You see on the picture-in-picture, Clem running with a group of bio units there. He does get a mine burrowed. And again, that's what's so impressive. We're watching this on two different screens. Clem's making this happen on one screen, just going to two different places at different times. And it's not just like one side's running, the other side's attacking. One side's running and burrowing mines, while the other side is figuring out if it wants to engage or not. So many split-second decisions in these engagements, really showing you guys the skill of these players. Love the burrowed Banelings, the sort of thing which could give Reynor a little bit of a momentum breakthrough, right? The sort of thing that could go a long way in his favor. I do think those Banes are a little bit out of position. They can't really relocate right now. There's a couple of Banes on the left side as well. They're in a great position because they got missed by that initial scan. I guess if Clem runs straight south and these Banelings can do well, yeah, it clips the edge, which is, it's nice, but it's not overly crazy, right? It's like a good in-between, because it means we're not going to lose everything as Clem. So obviously, Reynor's still getting some value. A couple of Banelings still being target fired here. Damage being done once again. Clem's target firing the Banelings have been amazing once again. Target fires down all of the Banes. This is something he's been doing more and more of lately. I just put up a YouTube short yesterday, even of Clem doing this against Solar in a recent WardiTV Monday Cup. Because, yeah, it's something he's been doing really well lately. It's really fun to watch. The target fire on the Banes has been something he's been prioritizing as of late. Here's the issue. He's been playing an aggressive, macro, kind of momentum-based game. And Reynor is at the point now where lurkers are coming out. Lurkers are taken to the stage, and I just don't think Clem's going to find the same level of success, continue to try and go with all of this kind of momentum on the map, because Lurkers are going to stop a lot of that momentum. Now we are pressing into the couple of ghosts, so we are going to get some splash damage, some of the snipe damage available. So we're going to have some of the answer here coming online soon. Army back to the middle of the map. We'll have the adrenal glands building up, plus 3 carapace on the way. Reynor's trying to push before Clem is really ready to deal with Lurkers. The army on the top side I'm more interested in, honestly. I feel like that one's the one where Clem's actually got a lot of stuff that's in trouble. The army over here is obviously taking great position. Clem does kind of survive over on the right-hand side, but these Lurker sieges are becoming an issue, especially the far forward Lurkers. He's going to try and deal with them. He does get a Liberate also out. Answer to the lips right now would just be Hydras, as the couple of Ghosts not able to do too much just yet. Lurkers from the right side going to end up this ramp, as well as Reynor is looking to lay the siege on Clem, and after all of this aggression all game long, Reynor will survive through, gets to the stronger phase of the game with the Lurkers, and now he has put an absolute collar on Clem in this game, and he is looking to absolutely clean this up, shut this down, because he's all over these bases, and Clem right now does not have a good way to clean up these Lurkers. He's going to scramble together whatever defense he can find. He runs out of scan here, though, so he's stepping through. There's Lurkers there that should just be damaging this army. I mean, Clem is going to... So I'm perplexed at how this army didn't just die. He's just ran through. I mean, it is dying. It's just... I was watching a certain group of units that just did not die, despite the fact it was running straight through and on top of Lurkers. A little bit ridiculous, but comes out. And there you have it. Okay, Reynor takes game number 4. We get tied 2 apiece. A spot in the finals on the line in game 5. He hit hold fire, misclick. Yeah, there was definitely a Lurker that should have done so much more, right? Yeah. Okay. As in the bottom 6 o'clock position, we're going to start off with the blue Terran player, Clem. Up against the red Zerg in the top left of Mothership, we've got ourselves the red Zerg player from Basilisk. This is Reynor. Actually coming down, a couple of drones on the way. That gas coming through just for first couple of moments, getting this set, seeing where we're going to take things. It's going to be obviously seeing actually got some cool coming up. New barracks on the way. Like I say, just early is going to be chill. No low ground barracks, no multi-Rex Reaper or anything along those lines either, so this really is just going to be the standard of standards to get us going here currently in game number 5. Of course, the SCV will scout, and it goes to the upper right first, as did Reynor's Overlord, so both players will be wrong on their first scout, but neither one doing a build that is overly reliant on the information gathered by kind of seeing their opponent early. So in that regard, things should be pretty safe and steady. Obviously, if the SCV does not see anything in the upper right, we know that the Zerg in the upper left, and that's where the Reaper will just head straight toward in these next couple of moments. So Reaper on its way. Just throw the third hatchery down where you would expect it to be. Obviously, the SCV went the wrong place, so we can't play the kind of the SCV Reaper denial of the third base game like we did in the previous map for a while. So that part of Clem's game plan is going to be out the window here if he was thinking or looking to replicate it. Going about, Queen just going to be there, trying to move through a couple of moments as we have that link speed, still sticking along for a couple of moments. The Queen and a couple of drones coming by as well. Got all of that on the way. I've seen the Queen. He's going to get bopped around a little bit. We'll see the Hellions going about. Command Center, the Starport building through. Ling Speed, Queen all coming about as well. Queens will chase. Reaper getting hunted. Just going to be having Clem moving around for a couple of moments in this game 5. Obviously, the Reaper will try and do as much as possible. We have 2 Hellions, so Clem going to go for the aggressive approach here. It's a later Ling Speed, so he does often do this when the Ling Speed's a bit later in the game. Goes after a bunch of these drones early, and he gets himself 5. Ling Speed going to be kicking in now, so I'm not sure we'll be seeing too much more of that. As those couple of Lings still gathering together for the moment. Banshee, a couple of Hellions, the Cloaking, all coming around as well, so we get all of that on the way up. These Hellions pulling back up to the top, a few drones coming through as well. We get this underway. Hellions going by, Banshee and the Cloaking coming about. Again, the SCVs and the barracks are building through. Queen's going to be there, turn the Hellions back away for a couple of moments, and for the moment or two, these Hellions have to go back down to that bottom side at the moment. The rest of these Hellions showing up and trying to do just a little extra here. Again, Banshee, Marine, Cloak, and the Stim continue to come through. A lot of that coming into play. I'm just going to be seeing that Banshee continues to step across for now. Hellions make their way down to the bottom. It's going to be seeing the Queens are going to be there, pushing those Hellions back for a moment or two. Again, Lair and the drones coming online, the Lings and the Queen producing. So far, so good. Everyone in the position they want to be in. Just now, we got a couple drones, obviously, as Clem, but I don't think Reynor was overly upset at a couple of workers going down. It's still a very manageable situation in the grand scheme of things. So, in that regard, should be still pretty happy with where things are sitting. Banshee and Cloak and continue up top. And Lair drones, the Overlord's building through, the 1-1 upgrades in the Stimpack building as well. Banshee's going to try and kill a Spore Crawler, and funnily enough, they're actually going to be able to commit to that, so Clem makes that decision. It's actually kind of a big deal. If you're relying on that Spore defensively, then actually that's something which you're not really accounting on going down. It's so rare the Spore Crawler dies. Now the Queens come over, and yeah, the reason why you're accounting on it is obviously it's your detection as well. The Hellions trying to get through, Clem realizing it. A little late to actually save those Hellions. He went a little too deep before he recognized the defense was there. Banshee still being kept alive. Again, great use of the first-person view to show just what these attacks look like on Clem's screen. When it comes into the edge of this mineral line, gets 3, 4, 5 workers, just gets away. Basically, no damage taken on the Banshees during that, so they stay very healthy. They're going to stay very operationally sound as well. As the additional Hydroden extra drones coming up. Reynor. Hydroden are actually going to be focusing on the missile upgrades in this game. As Clem has had a great start, but even though Reynor was a little bit, and I mean just a little bit behind the supply right now, there's still plenty of potential to come back through. Factory coming up, the armory coming in, the 1-1 upgrades all coming about. We see the Marines and the mines make their way to the top of the map here currently. Get themselves straight across as they spawn the Queen. Going to come down to get rid of that Banshee. Marines still pushing through. The Widowmine going to be a part of that as well. And we just see a couple of those Crypt Timbers going down. Ling Queen trying to run into this. And Medivacs Marines coming through the combat shield, and the couple of Widowmines going down as well. A few other Marines will come back over again here as we see the Lings trying to run forward. The Marines will fire. The Queen's going to take some more shots. We have Widowmines going off once again. A couple of Lings going to get grabbed there straight away. SC2, combat shield, all still building. Just going to see this Banshee still trying to come back over. Just going to get back in position for the next couple of moments. Banshee shoots in. Drone going to take some damage. Alien pulls back for a second. The Ling Hydra sets up to the top. Down a bunch of the creep spread here, opening up this map for Clem, giving Reynor a little bit less security. Getting some more creep teams as we try and leave here. We're going to chase this as Reynor. Hydras do have that missile upgrade, remember, so they're pretty decent in terms of their damage output. But I respect that a little bit as Clem has the double drop to the top side as well, setting up for even more damage in the next few moments. So continues to set up for just more and more potential and opportunity. The Marines join back together, going to move back around. The Lings are going to run through, and the Marines load back into the medevacs, just about able to escape away there. So backing away from that, as the bio is going to relocate back to the center here for the moment. It's just going to come back through. I mean, heading up top, these Lings are going to run in again. A lot of this is mainly based on the Hydras. Clem just says no splash damage. I'm just going to fight you. So like I say, is that a little bit of an overcommitment? Is that a little bit of disrespect to these Hydralists? I think it might have been, because I think he felt like there was an opportunity there. But again, those Hydras in good numbers with a +1 missile upgrade gives Reynor a defense for the moment. And for now, Reynor will hang on into this. Will not let this slip away from him just yet in this game 5. Lurker Den very close to being done. Clem preparing for the later stages of the game as well. That Ghost Academy is the main sign you want to see to know that Clem is going to be happy getting into the next stage. Because he'll have Ghosts available, and with Ghosts available, this game becomes a lot more manageable. Lings, Hydras both still running through. Another Widow Mine shot goes off on a few of those Lings. Another Widow Mine sets up. On the left side, a little bit of Ling Hydra going to go in after those medevacs as well. We continue to see the Bioforce continue to shove through here. Continuing to fight for a little bit. The Bio going to come across, continue to chase in just for the moment or two. But you see some of the Hydras and the Queens going to try and fight back as well. Clem, Widow Mine, going to go off on the Overseer. We kill the Overseer, but yeah, Reynor trying to drag that forward. Meant that Clem had to just run for a little bit, and that's some timing lost. I'm not going to be able to protect these mines here either, as the Hydras come through with an Overseer to detect it. But close to the 2-2 from Reynor, as 2-2 is already done from Clem. He will stim on the left side, pushing in on the right. I wonder if he should maybe be he just scouted the top right base. I was going to say maybe a attack up there, because it's off creep, so you can't really defend it as Reynor. And Clem gets the cancel on the Nidus. Clem, if he kind of forces Reynor into a game where he just can't take a 5th base for a while, is generally just going to be a positive. Widow Mine's burrow, but they get killed before they do. Clem a little bit underhanded there in terms of his control. He kind of just didn't realize that his army was there for a moment or so, so messed with the Widow Mine. Now Lurkers are out. And I think Clem's looking a little bit apprehensive about where this game is going in these next few moments. I do not think it's going to be looking good for him. Reynor, after all this time, is now defending. Now Nidus Network's available to come about and potentially add to the harassment of this game as well. You see the Marine's going to have to run away. Hydra's going to be good to pick off a medevac already. Hydra's Lings all building through. Plus 2 Carapace. Adaptive Talons coming in. The Ling Hydra going to get back toward the top. It's going to be a Nidus on the bottom left-hand side as Reynor tries to set up over there. Tries to get something on the go. That Nidus coming through. Overseer's building. And the army of Reynor just continues to move about. Hydra's going to step forward as well. Medevac goes down. The few Marines still firing away. Bio is going to step onto the Nidus network here. Kicking through this already. Marines just going to shoot. Add on that Marauder. Just going to go straight onto the Nidus network right away. And again, the rest of the Ling Hydra going to come back to try and add some damage as well. Big push across the map. But the Ghost is something you got to be careful of as Reynor. What Reynor doesn't really have here, I still think, is the kind of big push play or the big boom play, I guess. If the, you know, outside of just kind of the Lurkers being in position. Now, there's a Nidus in the back of the natural. I think Clem didn't necessarily see that coming up. No, it looks like he actually did deny it, and there's going to be continued attempts to Nidus right now from Reynor. Clem chasing with these Ghosts, able to get a few snipes off. So yeah, good to now have the Nidus in the natural. That did look like it was getting close to finishing. It seems like Clem is very much so on top of that. Not going to make that mistake. Sees some Morphing Lurkers. Those are easy picks. And yeah, even better are going to be these Lurkers, which just came up. I thought he was going to be able to pick those off as well, but obviously it doesn't happen. More snipes. Couple Lurkers going down immediately. I mean, still good value from Clem. Reynor losing a lot in these last few moments. Things definitely taking a bit of a turn for the worse there as the Ling Lurker Hydra continues to move through. Widow Mine just burrows up. A few Lings still coming about. Bio going to try and get forward here. You're going to see the Nidus coming up in the natural again. Clem losing SCVs this time around. This base in some trouble. He is not responding to the Nidus this time. A little bit too much attention being paid to the front door, which means that Clem is going to have the Nidus and the natural. He was stimming units over there, but it's going to be too late. He's going to bring the Ghost back over to this right side. Reynor successfully breaks down a base. Clem will clean up these lurkers. This one not too bad, but then there's going to be the Nidus in the main. Most importantly, more than anything else, I genuinely think is these lurkers at the front. They are putting on the pressure, and Clem, his position is falling away from him a little bit right now as Reynor is looking good for game 5 all of a sudden. Man, it was rough going for Reynor for a little bit, but now these lurkers in amazing siege spots. Clem has to figure his way out of this right now. There's a lot of lings. Nidus in the main base is going to get cleaned up. That doesn't do too much. Clem just trying to find the snipes where he can. One by one, these lurkers will fall. There's a lot of lings coming in on the right side. Clem going to have to use the planetary fortress, maybe even SCVs defensively on that right-hand side of your screen at the moment. Pulling back, letting the Ghosts do their thing, just trying to pull as far back as they can. SCVs need to repair this base, though. Clem really kind of needs the economy as the planetary fortress is being kept alive. Very, very close. It's going to be saved. Clem keeps the base on the right, and Reynor committing units to that means he lost a bit of value there, which he maybe should have been able to keep in his favor. A must-save play from Clem, and he makes it happen as now the Hydras and the Lings and the Lurkers still trying to press through. Clem is still on the absolute ropes right now, but he somehow tied himself to that rope for a teeny tiny bit longer. Manson on the upper right, though, is going to go down. I mean, Clem is still limited on bases. That said, Reynor's army supply is starting to be lacking here. He is losing a lot of these Lurkers. Clem needs a scan to get rid of this one Lurker that's in the front. Oh my goodness, Widowmines are going to blow the Lurker up as they get rid of a couple Hydras as well. Clem is still hanging on. Reynor is only 16 supply ahead. He has a ton of economy, he's just not got the army. But he's been spending his money as well. I mean, again, continue to work on basically just this siege position and trying to make this as strong a scenario as he possibly can do. Nidus in the main base again, just Clem, I mean, still has a decent amount of supply, but not, I think, enough overall, personally. But, like, prove me wrong, Clem. He's going to drop across the map. Hey, Reynor's not ready to deal with a drop across the map at all. He's putting everything into a push to the other side. So actually, this is going to catch Reynor a little bit off guard. You're going to see this Bio already starting to deal some damage. Queens, Hydras taking some hits. We are going to see some Hydras as they show up initially going down. This is just what Clem needs to kind of bring the attention back to the other side of the map to really reset things here for just a little bit. I mean, it takes Reynor's attention. The base goes down the right side, though, and Clem, I think, is going to realize that that is going to be kind of the nail in the coffin because he doesn't have other base to replace. It's not like he's got CCs for days. Man, Reynor, this siege position is going to be what ends it for him in his favor in the end. But, man, it was a freaking effort to make this happen. It's genuinely a very ridiculous series that we just saw here between Clem and Reynor, and an absolutely fascinating Game 5, as Clem is still going to try and make it happen. He's going to try and push through. He gets through the Nidus network here, but he's got zero economy. He's got nothing to work with against a Reynor who is very comfortable. It looks as though we're going to have Reynor and Hero entering the finals. Reynor takes Clem down 3-2. The pop-off is real, and Clem is going to have to leave out of that one as he processes a little bit. Reynor taking it down 3-2. Awesome Game 5, as we just mentioned, as you guys just saw. Don't think you all need the explanation of that. What we just saw was pretty darn sickening. As Reynor gets it done. Alrighty, yeah, just a couple moments as we get reset. Reynor will take on Hero in the finals. Man, I will say it because I hope I'm wrong. Reynor is going to have to play out of his mind against Hero. If Hero wakes up a little bit from that series against Solar